A movie I watched last night was 2018's Hold the Dark, the suspense drama directed by Jeremy Saulnier from a script by Macon Blair. I've recently watched Rebel Ridge, Saulnier's latest film, and having seen his first two major features, Blue Ruin and Green Room, when they came out, I was very keen to track down this one last film of his that I hadn't seen. I'm accepting, of course, 2007's Murder Party, his debut, which is apparently completely different in tone and style, a broad horror comedy, and very different from the rural, intense noir of his other films. Hold the Dark is set in the early 2000s in very remote Alaska, where an expert in wolf behavior is called in after a woman's son goes missing, apparently having been taken by a wolf pack, as a number of children have been in this tiny remote village. He goes off to the American outback, effectively in the dead of winter, to investigate, and is initially made very comfortable, although the woman's behaviour strikes him as strange. He goes off to investigate and finds the wolf pack, but on returning home discovers further secrets relating to the woman's husband, the boy's father, and his deployment to the Middle East. And the whole situation spirals on from there. And it's a very strange film. It feels very much in keeping with Saulnier's other work, but this is possibly his best film. The idea of wolf spirits, that there is so much that's left unsaid that the audience is required to fill in, but the idea of a group of people or a family or a connected network of people acting like a wolf pack, and so needing a wolf behavior expert to assist the cops in investigating, I think is a very clever original idea, particularly because of how Spartan the film is. It's a very spare, remote production. The fact that it's set out in the wilds of Alaska, where our main character, named Keough, played superbly by Jeffrey Wright, mentions that his daughter teaches at Anchorage University down on Alaska's south coast. And the woman dismisses that as saying that Anchorage isn't real Alaska, because it's a city with large buildings and streets and not a remote hamlet in the middle of nothing. There are excellent performances across the board. Riley Keough as the mother, Alexander Skarsgård as her husband, and James Badgedale as the local police chief, who's dragged into this bizarre situation. By his own admission, most of his officers are completely green and completely unable or incapable of handling the events that unfold in the movie. There's a particularly well done action sequence in mid-film where the police are pinned down by a gunman, and the whole situation is superbly directed and edited. Saulnier is really an unsung master. He's turned out 4 superb films. I haven't seen Murder Party. I expect it's going to be like Peter Jackson's early weird horror comedies that they have a certain visual similarity, but the tone is going to be totally different. I don't really like Peter Jackson's early comedies. I didn't like Bad Taste. I saw Brain Dead once, and I think that was probably enough. And I've no interest in seeing Meet the Feebles. And then he did Heavenly Creatures, which I watched again recently, and everything really took off from there. And you get a real sense of marrying his very energetic, unusual visual style to more mature material, and how that balances perfectly well. And then Lord of the Rings and King Kong really run with it from there. And since then, he's not really been able to do anything, because there's the Hobbit movies, which have shackled him completely, and his 2 archive footage documentaries. They will not grow old, which I thought was the best thing he's ever done, and Get Back, which I haven't watched yet. But Saulnier has all the talent, he has all the ingredients he needs to really break through as a major filmmaker. But the fact that he hasn't is just a pure lack of support. Hold the Dark was released by Netflix, and Netflix, of course, does almost nothing to promote any movies that it makes that cost less than $150 million. So this film, with a list of character actors in the cast, a low-key suspense drama set in the middle of nowhere, had very little support. Rebel Ridge, likewise, has had very little support. He's a great filmmaker. He's a major talent. Despite having made 4 movies with great response and great casts, he's still yet to break through. I'm thrilled, looking forward to Jeremy Saulnier's next film. I just hope that other people actually get to see it.